everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the very first time, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Jane. My husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we've got no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life in Brittany and northwest France. And every Friday we bring you something frugal and food related. And this Friday is I'm going to have a chat with you whilst I'm preparing things for the freezer about kitchen fatigue, about cooking fatigue. Because if you're thrifty and frugal, you cook and eat at home, and we're only human, and I am utterly and absolutely fed up of it at the moment. So I'm going to get on and do some batch cooking and get it in the freezer and have a chat with you along the way of how I cope with feeling like this, because I'm sure if you're thrifty, frugal and money saver too, and you cook at home, that every now and then you'll feel like this too. Let's run through what I am actually going to cook today and make, and why I'm going to make it, because I really am not in the mood for this, but it's one of those, you take a run at it and get it all over and done with in one go. So I'm going to make a beef bourguignon, or a beef in red wine sauce. I've got a bottle of wine that's been hanging around for ages and beef that I bought on offer. And that's quick, and I can get that into my Instant Pot and get that cooking. I'm then going to make some Spanish chicken, which is basically a chicken casserole in a tomato-based sauce with chicken and chorizos. Normally it'd have olives in it, but Mike doesn't like olives, so we'll skip that. So those are two things that I can get making, and then just one will be bubbling on the stove top, one will be in the Instant Pot. Easy, get those over and done with. I'm also going to make a fish pie, which needs a cheese sauce, and lasagna that makes a cheese sauce. I'm going to make cottage pie, so I'll get mashed potatoes on the go. That's just like, that will go on both pies. And you can see, oh, I am really stressed about this, but it's one of those things that if I can just get everything over and done with in one day, then on those days where I really can't be bothered to cook, it's just pull it out of the freezer and reheat it. So share with you the journey that I'm going to have today, because this is going to be an all-day job, and at the end of the day, you know, it's over and done with. So let's get cooking. First dish is done. I've got every pot, every pan out. It's all a bit chaotic at the moment, but number one is done, and it is a beef casserole in red wine. Along the themes similar to a beef bourguignon, but not classically. So it's in, it's sauteed, the red wine's added, the stock is added, the onions, the carrots, the beef, the bacon chunks are in there, and I'm going to get the lid onto the Instant Pot and just leave it now for, I'm going to leave it for an hour and 15 minutes. At the end of that, it should be pretty much done, and I just need to thicken it and add mushrooms, and I'll get on to something else. I'm also going to make today two different soups. I'm going to make a sweet potato and red pepper soup, so I will roast those and then make the soup, and I will also make a cream of mushroom soup. So those are really simple, and I have bags of frozen vegetables that I'm going to add to one of the soups. So those three, well, I'm sounding a bit chaotic because I am, and this is the old cooking fatigue, isn't it? It's like when you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, it's not always a greatly pleasurable experience, but it'll be a relief when it's over and done with, rather like banging your head against a brick wall. It's great when it stops. So the beef bourguignon, I'll just put the lid on, set that to pressure cook. I've got soups to make, I've got cheese sauce to make, but first of all I'm going to cook a load of mashed potatoes ready for the cottage pie and the fish pie. I'm now chopping onions ready to make cottage pie, and I'm dealing with frugal fatigue, I'm dealing with frugal fatigue at the moment. And I think you get kind of bored when you're frugal all of the time, and even especially in the kitchen. Food is expensive. This is not the time for me to be experimenting. I need sure winners in that freezer that we can just pick up and that we can eat. So the next thing I'm going to make is just a big pile of cottage pies, and they'll go into the freezer. And I think there's something else I want to share with you, is that we all of us who cook all of the time get fed up of it from time to time. And the bit I get fed up of it is trying to be different or creative or inventive, or sit there scrolling through Instagram and TikTok looking for things to cook. And I want to share with you that it's okay just to make meals that are nutritious that we're going to put on the table and eat. And we are, there are times where we like to shift and change. And as I'm watching leaves fall from the trees outside my garden, outside my window at the moment, I'm shifting and changing into those autumnal dishes, those slow cooked beef dishes, those casseroles, those oven cooked dishes, and that is absolutely fine. So the next thing I'm going to make is just a load of cottage pies. I was going to make lasagna, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use all the minced beef that I've got. I bought on offer that needs using up, and just make a load of cottage pies. It's okay. We get kitchen fatigue, we get frugal fatigue, and it is okay to just go, you know what, we'll eat that. That's all right. So let's get that let's get that cooking. Let's give you a progress report. I have got in here sweet potatoes and red peppers, and I've got a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. That's all going to go in the air fryer for about 20 minutes till this is all soft. I will then add some chicken stock and blend it, and we'll call that it. I'll taste it once I've blended it, see if it needs any salt and pepper. I'm going to turn you around slowly. So what have we got in here? I've got potatoes cooking. Let's turn those up a bit. Potatoes cooking for mashed potato. I've got minced bacon, onions in here cooking to make cottage pie. And over in here I've got beef bourguignon cooking away, another 30 minutes to go. Let's get those vegetables into the air fryer. So what have I got cooked so far? I've got the fish pie filling in here, which is scallops, cod and salmon in a cheese sauce with some vegetables and peas in it as well. And that's 2 of those. And the mashed potato will go on top. And in here I've got the cottage pie. Some of you will call that shepherd's pie. That's those. They're going to sit and cool, have their lids put on, label the lids, get into the freezer. We'll have to decide yet what we're actually going to eat for dinner tonight. So that's 2 things done, cottage pie and fish pie. There they are. I know those on the right are fish pies, those on the left are cottage pies. I've got some mashed potato left in here. I always just peel our potatoes, boil them. I had some garlic and herb cream cheese left over that needed using up. So that got mashed in with it, and some butter and salt and pepper. We'll probably have this for dinner tonight with some of the beef casserole. So that's 2 things ready to go into the freezer. There's a mess everywhere, but there always is when you're batch cooking, and then it all gets cleaned up afterwards. So let's look at the next things that I have cooked. I'll get down low on that. I've cooked beef in red wine, so basically a beef casserole with mushrooms and carrots and onions. And we've got that with mashed potatoes for our meal today. I'll cover these up, we'll microwave them later. And I've got beef casserole in the dishes, I'll put the lids on those. In here, I've got the spare red wine and mushroom gravy. I'll pop a lid on it. We'll eat that another day. So if I cook any meat another day, I can use this sauce. I've got spare cheese sauce with peas in it here. Again, if I ever cook any fish another day, all I'd have to do is grill the fish and eat it with the cheese sauce. So that's more ready to go in the freezer and more ready for our dinner today. Round 2, I've changed aprons. The other one got a bit of sauce and muck down it. So where are we at? I've made beef bourguignon, cottage pie or shepherd's pie, however you like to call it. I've made fish pie, and I've already so far made sweet potato and red pepper soup. I have Spanish chicken on the go, which is chicken and chorizo casserole, and that's ready to go for the pressure cooker. And I'm just about to make cream of mushroom soup. So let's get on with it. 2 more for the freezer. So this one is sweet potato and red peppers and vegetables I roasted in the air fryer. I then used stock cube and made chicken stock, and then added the 2 together and blended it in the blender and added it, and it's quite thick. I think when I come to reheat this, I could probably add some more chicken stock to it and make it thinner. And over here we have cream of mushroom soup. So it was chopped mushrooms, chopped onions, some mixed frozen vegetables, sauteed them in butter, then added in about 2 cupfuls of chicken stock, which again I made from stock cubes, added in then about a cup of creme fraiche, 250 millilitres of creme fraiche, and then brought that up to the boil, then simmered it for about 5 minutes and then blended it. Cream of mushroom soup. And here I have sweet potato and red pepper and vegetable soup. And these are ready for the freezer. So it's all done. I have batch cooked. It's all in its tubs. It's all cool. It's all in the freezer. It saved me time. It's cost me a lot of time today and a lot of effort and a lot of hassle. But now the dishwasher's on, the kitchen is clean, and everything's easy and ready to go in the future. So yeah, cooking fatigue is real, frugal fatigue is real, feeling absolutely fed up about cooking is absolutely real. And I do feel fed up of cooking at the moment. And if you feel fed up of cooking, you're not alone. If you're one of those people who cooks at home every day, who eats at home every day to save money, you do get fed up of it, and that's okay to feel like that every now and then. And it's okay not to cook anything fancy and just to make family favourites and easy meals, and they are just in the freezer and ready to go. Like I said, the dishwasher's on, the kitchen's clean. I can have a few days off cooking whenever I want. Hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. Do you ever get kitchen fatigue? Do you get cooking fatigue? Do you get frugal fatigue? Because I do, I'm sure you do too. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.